Welcome, Stewart family, to the Stewart Family Reading Challenge. I'm Robert, and this is Miss Berglund.
Hi.
Today we're going to read together Sneetches.
The Sneetches by
Dr.
Dr. Seuss.
The Sneetches.
Now the star-bellied Sneetches had bellies with stars, and the plain-bellied Sneetches had none upon theirs. Those stars weren't so big, they were really so small, you might think such a thing wouldn't matter at all.
But because they had stars, all the star-bellied Sneetches would brag were the best kind of Sneetch on the beaches. With their snoots in the air, they'd sniff and they'd snort. We'll have nothing to do with the plain-belly sort. And whenever they met some, when they were out walking, they'd hike right on past, without even talking.
When the star-bellied children went out to play ball, could a plain belly get in the game? Not at all. You could only play if your bellies had stars, and the plain-bellied children had none upon theirs. So here they are walking, wrong side, walking with their snoots in the air. And then over here they're playing ball, and the plain-bellied Sneetches don't get to play at all. It's pretty sad, isn't it? You can read this page if you want.
When the star-bellied Sneetches had Frankfurter roasts, or picnics or parties or marshmallow toasts, they never invited those plain-bellied Sneetches. They left them out cold in the dark of the beaches. They kept them away, never let them come near, and that's how they treated them, year after year.
Oh my goodness. Look at how sad they are.
They're cold.
And look at that fun Frankfurter roast. You can go ahead.
Then one day it seems, while the plain-bellied Sneetches were moping and doping alone on the beaches, just sitting there wishing their bellies had stars, a stranger zipped up in the strangest of cars.
I wonder if we could. Yeah. Okay. My friends, he announced in a voice clear and keen, my name is Sylvester Monkey McBean, and I've heard of your troubles, I've heard you're unhappy, but I can fix that, I'm the fix-it-up chappie. I've come here to help you, I have what you need, and my prices are low, and I work at great speed, and my work is 100% guaranteed. Oh, gosh, sorry.
Then quickly Sylvester McMonkey McBean put together a very peculiar machine. And he said, you want stars like a star-belly Sneetch? My friends, you can have them for $3 each.
Just pay me your money and hop right aboard. So they clamored inside, then the big machine roared. And it clonked, and it bonked, and it jerked, and it burked, and it bopped them about. But the thing really worked. When the plain-bellied Sneetches popped out, they had stars. They actually did. They had stars upon theirs.
Then they yelled at the ones who had stars at the start, we're exactly like you. You can't tell us apart. We're all just the same now, you snooty old smarties. And now we can go to your Frankfurter parties.
Good grief, groaned the ones with stars who had stars at the first. We're still the best Sneetches, and they are the worst. But now, how in the world will we know, they all frowned, if which kind is what, or the other way around?
Then up came McBean with a very sly wink, and he said, things are not quite as bad as you think. So you don't know who's who, that is perfectly true. But come with me, friends, do you know what I'll do? I'll make you again the best Sneetches on beaches, and all it will cost you is $10 eaches.
Oh, the first time it was only $3.
He's got to make money.
Now it's $10. Belly stars are no longer in style, said McBean. What you need is a trip through my star-off machine. This wondrous contraption will take off your stars, so you won't look like the Sneetches who have them on theirs. And that handy machine, working very precisely, removed all the stars from their tummies quite nicely.
Then with snoots in the air, they paraded about, and they opened their beaks, and they let out a shout. We know who is who, now there isn't a doubt. The best kind of Sneetches are the Sneetches without.
Then, of course, those with stars all got frighteningly mad. To be wearing a star now was frighteningly bad. Then, of course, old Sylvester McMonkey McBean invited them into his star off machine. Then, of course, from then on, as you can probably guess, things really got into a terrible mess. Pretty soon they're not going to know who's who.
Probably not. Or even what they are. All the rest of that day on those wild, screaming beaches, the fix-it-up chappie kept fixing up Sneetches. Off again, on again, in again, out again. Through the machines they raced, round and about again. Changing their stars every minute or two, they kept paying money, they kept running through. Until neither the plane nor the starbellies knew whether this one was that one, or that one was this one, or which one was the what one, and what one was who.
Then, when every last cent of their money was spent, the fix-it-up chappie packed up and he went. He laughed as he drove in his car up the beach. They will never learn, no, you can't teach a Sneetch. Look at all that money.
But McBean was quite wrong, I'm quite happy to say, that the Sneetches got really quite smart on that day. The day they decided that Sneetches are Sneetches and no kind of Sneetch is the best on the beaches. That day all the Sneetches forgot about stars and whether they had one or not upon theirs.
That was it.
The Zacks.
Do we want to read the Zacks? We can read the Zacks. It's not that long. Okay, part 2. The Zacks.
The Zacks.
One day, making tracks in the prairie of Prax, came a north-going Zacks and a south-going Zacks. Oh, this might get interesting for Miss Berglund.
And it happened that both of them came to a place where they bumped where they stood, foot to foot, face to face. Look here now, the north-going Zacks said. I say, you are blocking my path. You are right in my way. I'm a north-going Zack, and I always go north. Get out of my way now. Let me go forth.
He's a sassy Zacks. Who's in whose way? Snapped the south-going Zacks. I always go south, making my south-going tracks. So you're in my way, and I ask you to move and let me go south in the south-going groove.
And the north-going Zacks puffed his chest up with pride. I never, he said, take a step to one side. And I'll prove to you that I won't change my ways if I have to keep standing here 59 days.
And I'll prove to you, yelled the south-going Zacks, that I can stand here in the prairie of Prax for 59 years, for I live by a rule that I learned as a boy back in south-going school. Never budge, that's my rule. Never budge in the least. Not an inch to the west, not an inch to the east. I'll stay here, not budging. I can and I will, if it makes you and me and the whole world stand still.
Well, of course, the world didn't stand still. The world grew. In a couple of years, the new highway came through, and they built it right over those stubborn Zacks and left them there standing, unbudged in their tracks.
See him in the middle there? Right under the highway. They built the highway right over him. And that was it. That's it. Well, Stewart family, it's been so fun reading to you again today. Tomorrow we have a special surprise for you. Dr. Lantis over here, Robert, is going to read Fox and Socks. So we'll see how that goes. But until then, thank you so much. Keep reading, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Love you guys.
Bye.